Fionnoula King, you're the principal here at Mount St Michael Secondary School in Claremorris. We're here today to celebrate and honour Evelyn O'Connor, who is the Secondary Teacher of the Year 2012. First of all, tell us a bit about the school.
It is an all-girls secondary school and we have 475 students here. It's the only girls' school in the town, so we get all of the girls from our catchment area and a few from outside of that. What else should I say about it? It's a happy school. I think that's it's a school that the students and the community are very proud of, and I'm very proud of it as well. I've been here all my teaching life, and yes, it is a happy place.
So, Teacher of the Year awards were spearheaded by abcbooks.ie and basically put in place to honour and reward teachers that students wanted to give appreciation and honour to. So you must be very proud that Evelyn has won the title this year.
Yes, of course, delighted. To be honest, I had never heard of the award scheme, if that's what it's called, before. But it's a lovely thing to do, because teachers don't get an opportunity really to be celebrated in this way. You know, in a way, the immediate reward comes from the pupils that are in front of you every day, but to bring that into the public domain is refreshing, to say the least.
So tell us a bit about Miss O'Connor, who is an English teacher here.
She is, yes, she's just a really dynamic person, passionate about the two things that really matter in teaching, passionate about young people and their capacity and their potential, and passionate about her subject area, English. And she just really believes in each student. She takes great care. They talk about long memories that you might have of a teacher, and the person who cares is the person that you really remember. I know in part of her nominations they talked about Shakespeare and poetry and so on, but really long term they won't remember the Shakespeare and the poetry. They'll remember a person who cares and who cared about them. And as I say, Evelyn has that passion in young people and the belief, and she cares, and even though some of her classes are very big, she, I think, gives the impression to each one of those students that each individual matters. You know.
Is it a difficult time for teachers?
Well, I've just mentioned the larger numbers. You know, that is one very significant kind of impact for cutbacks, is the one-to-one. The pupil-teacher ratio that, you know, Evelyn talked about earlier, as being one-to-one has been most ideal, and when, you know, some of our classes have 20 students, but more recently it's creeping up to 27, 28, and if you imagine, especially in English, the amount of correction that involves, and Evelyn is such a perfectionist and such a professional that there are long hours spent correcting student work. But is it a difficult time for teachers? I think inside the four walls of the classroom, the joy of teaching always remains pretty much the same, you know, but increasingly then the impact of cutbacks, be it on teaching hours or be it on numbers in your classroom, demands outside of the classroom, where you know, there are duties way beyond the classroom, not just correction of English work, but policy making, and I suppose being involved in whole school initiatives around best practice, around school self-evaluation and so on and so forth. So we're ever more accountable, and that's with you know, increasing demands on your time from all sides, I suppose. So we're pinched from all sides, but ultimately you're in the classroom in an unchanged setting, where you're doing what you love, or in Evelyn's case, what she loves.
She spoke about her non-permanency as a teacher, and that's obviously a concern for her and for hundreds of other teachers like her, but that's just the reality of where we are today. And do you foresee that changing anytime soon?
Well, I suppose that's the million-dollar question, really. We have been in a profession that, I know that a couple of our teachers retired in 2009, and and I'm identifying by saying this, but I think it's okay to, a husband and wife, but one of those arrived into the sister who was the principal at the time, I can't put a time frame on it. Would it have been something like 1960, 1965 or something, and said, I'd like to teach here, and they said, come on in, and he said, have you got a space for my wife as well? And they said, yes, of course, and his wife arrived in, and so 2 new permanent teachers in Claremorris, you know. So it's just, we've had a long tradition of permanency being standard practice, really, and we've certainly at the early stages, I would suggest, of having not having that situation anymore. And you know, is it going to continue for a long time? Yeah, I think we better get used to it. I think we better get used to it. And it certainly places huge demands on everybody, and that, you know, teaching was something that the word security was very much attached to, and it's just not going to be that way into the future. It's very much part of the recession, and so the question, you know, is it going to end any time soon? The question really is, will the recession end anytime soon? And we know the answer to that.
Ms. King, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.